Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and I'm at Star Cottage Studio. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you're having an amazing day. Um, it has been a very busy day here, as always, but Mondays are especially busy. Um, just kind of getting back into the week. We had a wonderful weekend. Uh, we had an amazing two shows last week. If you missed our lives on Friday and Saturday of last, yeah, Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Friday. We don't go live on Saturday. Thursday and Friday last week, we had some Kochi tribe metal and lots of pieces, lots of things. We talked about maybe having some more of that today, but I did not get around to sorting more of that for y'all today. We very possibly will do that later in the week at some point, but we did not for today. But if you missed those, there's still a lot of great things left, and you can still claim. So feel free to jump on over to our YouTube channel or Facebook page and check out any of the replays there for those 2 days. Lots of good stuff. Um, I had a nice time at the shop today. I planted flowers in the flower box at the shop this weekend. I had the ladder out changing light bulbs. Our ceilings are very tall, um, and the entranceway light bulb went out, and so I had to get the big ladder out, the tall ladder out to get up to that. So I did that. Um, Andrew had picked up some light bulbs at one point, and they happened to be in the van, and I was like, okay, this is great. So I changed some light bulbs around the place, did a little bit of cleaning out in the windows, and a little bit of moving things around. I didn't get very far in that because I had other things to do, but worked on that. I had a few people come into the store. Our friend Joara from next door at Jada's Jazz Cafe came in, and we chit chatted for a while on Sunday evening. It was really nice to see her. I don't get to hang out with her too much. She's very busy with cafe work and other things that they're trying to do and start. But it was good. We just kind of sat down for probably 2 hours or so at least together and just kind of BS'd at the table and talk shop about small business in Johnstown and things we want to do. And um, so that was really nice. And our friend Cindy stopped by. That was on Saturday, I want to say. Saturday? I think it was on Saturday. Losing track of my days. But we just talked for a few hours too, and she did some looking around and some shopping and stuff too. And so that was really nice to see her and catch up a little bit. We haven't seen each other in a while. She's also very busy with her business and with her family. So it was really nice that she was able to stop by. I just realized my one eye looks very red. I don't know why. It doesn't feel, well, I do know why actually. My allergies are killing me today and yesterday. Oh, look, let's see. Who do we got in here? Missing comments. Leslie's here. Hello, Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Marianne is here. Jen is here. Hello. Kimberly is here. Dominique is here. Hello, Dominique. Thanks for joining in. Norma is here. Susie's here. Boy, everyone, lots of people, lots of people. Thank you all for being here and hanging out with me. Um, Paula's here. Hello, Paula. Thank you so much for joining us today as well. Um, yeah, uh, it's been a whirlwind of a weekend. We had our D stash last night, so lots of good things in the D stash. If you missed that, I hope you'll check that out. That's on Facebook in the Andrew Thornton Project D stash group. Still lots of good stuff there, and we had lots of fun questions, I think. Um, Sorry, I'm looking at my arm. I feel like I'm breaking out a little bit. I'm telling you, my allergies right now, I've been breaking out in hives the last few days, which we have been trying to eat foods that generally shouldn't be too bad for me. But I feel like we did have nuggets, fake chicken nuggets, and they may have preservatives in them. We get the generally the good brand that doesn't list many preservatives or any preservatives, but you never know. Um, generally there's probably something in them, right? And so I've been breaking out a little bit, and my eyes, I could scratch my eyes out of my face. Like, just they're so itchy. Um, and there must be a lot of pollen in the air. I am on 3 different allergy pills plus my natural allergy pills. I started I forgot about my natural ones. I hadn't been taking them for a while, and I started taking them yesterday, and it's been really helping. Um, it's amazing how much they seem to help. But I am on like loratadine, cetirizine, and what's the other one? It's Allegra, whatever Allegra is, fexofenadine. So I take like all 3 of those in a day. Um, they're all non-drowsy, but I feel like they still slow me down when you take that many of them. And some of them I take twice a day, and I still break out and I still have issues. So if you are having allergy issues this year, you are not alone. And I've heard a lot of people say that they're having more allergy issues than normal this year. Let's see here. Um, Everybody is saying hi. Um, Paula says, "Hey Norma, congrats on winning the drawing today." Marion's asking, "What did you win?" Yeah, what did you win, Norma? Um, uh, Look at us all asking. You don't have to say if you don't want to, Norma. Um, but yeah, that's what's happening. 3 different ones, says Dominic. Yeah, 3 different allergy pills, plus the natural ones. So and my eyes are still itchy. Like, I can feel I must have been rubbing. I am rubbing my eyes. I don't even realize I'm doing it because they're just so itchy. And I must have rubbed this one. That's why it's more red. This is the itchiest eye. This one, and I had I also used allergy eye drops yesterday. So not only am I on the 3 allergy pills, but I use allergy eye drops too. And it didn't help. It didn't help one bit. My eyes just like um, yeah, Jen says, "Dang, I didn't realize folks took all those allergy meds together." Probably most people don't. Um, I would hope you don't have to. But I'm doing anything I can just to stay alert or stay from having um, my eyes so itchy I can't use them. Um, yeah, I was starting to get itchy back up in my sinuses. Like, that part in your throat where you can scratch the back of your throat with your tongue, and then it's usually like up in there. It feels like it's up in there, and it gets itchy. If you have allergies, maybe you have experienced this. That's I woke up with that the other day, so I'm like moving my tongue in the back of my throat to try and scratch that itch. It's been terrible. We have not had rain. They keep calling for rain. My forecast thing called for rain all this week, and so far, no rain. Maybe today, maybe it skipped. I'm not necessarily, looking forward to rain, um, because we don't want things to get so wet that trees fall again and all that stuff. But the rain does often help keep the pollen out of the air. It pulls the pollen out of the air a little bit, and it dampens things so that the pollen isn't just like from everything and everywhere that you walk by. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit of rain. Um, Andrew says sometimes it rains at night when you're asleep. Yeah, sometimes it does. I don't think it's been raining though. It was very dry. I had to go out and water all the plants today because they were all very dry. Um, but it is supposed to rain starting at 4 p.m. tomorrow, is what it says. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't necessarily. Susie says no rain till Wednesday night. Okay, maybe that is Wednesday then. Maybe I fast forwarded too far. Um, Susie usually gets it right. Whatever her forecast is better than mine. Um, Dominique says, I've done 2, but not 3. I had the worst allergies when I lived in Florida. Wow. Yeah. Um, yeah, I do 3. Loratadine, which is Claritin, fexofenadine, which is Allegra, and then cetirizine, which is, I can't remember what that one is. Um, I don't do the Flonase. Andrew uses the Flonase. I don't do Flonase because I don't like shooting this stuff up my nose. Just don't. It just is not. Doesn't feel great. Um, but it seems to help him at least. Norma says we were supposed to have rain today, but so far just some distant thunder. That's kind of nice. I've been having to water the flowers a lot though. Our fig tree that we transplanted lost all of its leaves, but they say that it can do that. The shock of moving into a new space, and we've been watering it and keeping an eye on it, and it is sprouting. It sprouted the tiniest little leaf, like the leaf is like this big, but it's like it looks like a full-grown leaf. Like it has little lobes and it looks like a big leaf, but it's like this big. So that should hopefully grow. And each point, there's like I think three stalks that are coming out, that's growing out of the main stalk. And each one is turning into a little green tip, and you can see the leaf, kind of folded up in that tip. So um, I'm hopeful that it will leaf and catch on and get stronger. Um, because I feared when we transplanted it that it was starting to die, but I think it just kind of got set back, and it threw away its leaves that it had when we had it under the grow light, and now it's like growing like I want it like outdoor hardy leaves, right? So we're hoping for that. We watered the tomato plants. We got cherry tomato plants, and they're actually container plant, like porch tomatoes, I think they called them. um, they're supposed to be small. I don't know if they're cherry size or a little bit bigger, but we planted them in the ground. Andrew did. And so I watered those today, and I watered our new columbines just to keep those watered. And Andrew planted the poppy as well, so I watered that. Um, so that all is hopefully going to keep growing. We'll see. I I Hopefully it does rain a little bit, because I thought that I didn't have to have anybody water our plants up in Johnstown, but we'll see. If it doesn't rain, they may dry out. They're also under the we have an awning, and unless it like rains and blows, they could also get dried out. So we'll have to see. I may have to talk to our tenant and ask him, say, hey, can you go down and water the flowers? We'll see how it goes though. Anne's here. Hello, Anne. Um, Leslie says rain forecast for tomorrow. Was a nice cool day today in Philly. It was. I'm glad it was cool for you. It was hot here. Like everyone was talking about how hot it got here. My watch says it was 82 is the high. It felt hotter than 82. It was really, really hot, and the sun was hot. I went out and took the cats out for like poor cats. They got out for like 7 minutes today, and I had to call them all back in because it was too much, and I had to get my going with my day. But um, yeah, it was a lot. Um, Anne says, I've got a crazed cat over here, so I'm not sure I can tell you much. Oh boy. What's Daniel Tiger doing over there? Len says, hi all. My charger got burnt out. Just back from buying a new one to charge my tablet. Oh no, that's not good. A fun ways here. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Glad you can make it. Andrew says, the poppy looks pitiful. Yeah, the poor poppy. Um, it looks it had a flower starting, and somehow I don't know if something got it, but it got cracked off, and so the stem that it was on just cracked. And I don't know if that was an animal, a bunny, a cat. I don't know. um But the poppy, we'll see. We're gonna keep watering it, and hopefully it does well. It's in pretty much full sun where they like to be, apparently. So we're hopeful for that. Um, Leslie says that was the whole weekend for me. Yeah, it was hot all weekend. Um, oh, it was Saturday. Saturday, I think yes, Saturday it was. That's for sure when um I'm losing my brain. It was Saturday. We had a huge storm. That I was trying to say that's when Cindy came, because Cindy was there when we lost power at the shop because we had a huge storm come through. It really wasn't too bad, but they were calling for up to 80-mile-an-hour winds. Um, and I guess some places really did get hit. We luckily did not, but the store regained power. We were all okay up in Johnstown, but on my way home, I had to take a different way home because my normal way, they had closed down the road due to probably fallen trees or something happened. So I had to take a different way home, which I've never taken before. Thank goodness for GPS. And I didn't get to come by the cottage, so I stopped at home, picked Andrew up, and we came up to the cottage on Saturday night just to make sure the wind didn't go crazy and blow anything down again up here. So um, and that did cool everything down that night. The rain brought in a kind of a cold front through, which was good. But for the most part, it's been a very hot. It was very hot before that happened, and it's still very hot today. Um, Andrew says Connor has competition for Tallulah's affections. I know our neighbor got a different mowing person. Um, and I met him. He was asking me about our blueberry bush. He's like, "That's really doing well." I said, "I know. We don't do much. We just let it go, and it produces like crazy." Um, but yeah, now there are two people mowing on the side of us, and Tallulah likes to see the menfolk mowing. She runs to the windows when the menfolk are out there mowing. Tallulah's our cat, in case you didn't know. Um, and she had a crush on Connor, but now we'll have to see. We'll have to see. She was very interested in the new man mowing the yard on the other side of us. It's so funny. The stories we have with our cats. Susan's here. Hello, Susan. I hope Mookie's doing okay. Thinking of you all. Marianne said chilly and showery. I would like a little bit of chilly. We had to put the air conditioner. We were so hot last night. Um, I was getting ready to do the D stash. If you were on the D stash with me, I mentioned that we were a little bit behind last night, is because and I didn't say this, but it was truly because I was um I was trying to get the air conditioner in the window. It was not cooperating. It took much longer than it should have. The screen came out of the window and fell out, and then pieces of the air conditioner, the tubing, and fell out. It was a little bit of a mess, but I did get it. And so now we do have some air conditioning in the kitchen dining area, which was sorely needed. The cats are all like lounging around because they're so hot. Barnaby, he loves the heat though. He's like laying in front of the window in the sun today. Um, let's see here. Um, been really hot here, 90s every day, says Susan. I don't want 90s every day. 80s is enough. We're at 77 right now, and it still feels like a heat wave out there. Um, yeah, it's been a hot day. Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Thanks for joining us. Um, Andrew said she kept asking to go out. Yes, she did. She kept pawing at the door, kept asking to go out. She wanted to meet. She is such a friendly cat. If she sees new people, she loves to go meet them. It's really kind of endearing and sweet, but um, but she is like, she could get stolen so easily. She's a pretty cat, and she will just walk up to anybody and start purring at them and jumping at them and wanting hugs. It's pretty funny. Dominique says, been raining all day here with 50 degrees, and by Friday we were supposed to be 90. Oh, no, no, no. 50 to 90, that's too fast in a week. Of course, we've been doing that some days. As Andrew said, it gets pretty chilly here at night. Yeah, they're calling for, well, to the low last night, I think, was 57, it says. It looks like the low tonight um, is going to be in the 60s, 62, something like that. It's wild. Andrew says she don't have no sense. She just is friendly. She just likes to be friendly. Um, so yeah, life. Um, our friends came over, our neighbors over here. They were chopping down a part of their tree today. Um, and we also, they came over because his son does mows our yard. We got our yard mowed and got the flower beds completely weed eated down. We let the daffodil leaves. Um, Andrew said you're supposed to wait till they go yellow, so that they absorb all the energy back into the, I guess, into the main, you know, um, the main bulb or whatever at the daffodil. And so we did that, and he just came through a little bit ago and did the mowing and cut down all of the flowers that were left. Well, the stems, the leaves, and the weeds that were starting to grow up between them. And I went out and watered the pear tree. That's another thing that, since we seem to have been able to keep the deer, knock on wood, out of it so far this year. What we're doing has been working, and it has shot up about probably another 6 inches now. Um, so we're actually getting some growth on our pear tree. It's been pretty much a little stick ever since we planted it when we got married, just after we got married. And so it's finally getting some growth on it. So hopefully that continues. Um, Marion says, my dad had a shop cat that used to sleep under a drying fan over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Barnaby loves the heat. Um, he'll come up and sleep with me in the bed, but we have the air conditioning on in there, and he usually cuddles pretty close or buries himself a little bit. He doesn't like the cold, but he's a skinny little thing. Um, and yeah. But he's always liked the heat. He has always liked the heat. See, here goes this eye now. This eye does not need to start. It like transferred over. Um, Andrew says, bless her heart, she can make friends, but she can't keep them. I know. She's like ready to move on to the next person. Um, and says, okay, apparently Daniel Tiger just wanted to rub his entire face over my entire face, but he's done now. I think that's one of the other reasons that I'm having so many allergies. I'm taking the cats outside and they're running through the bushes, and then I'm getting up in there and kissing their face, and letting them kiss my face. And so I think that's another reason that I definitely have um, itchy eye problems right now. Um, and says, I got caught in a deluge on the way home. It's going to be rainy all week. Yeah, our rain, Susie is supposed to start Wednesday. I'm seeing pretty much all week until Friday or Saturday. We're supposed to have rain, at least for parts of the day. I highly doubt it's going to rain like all day long, but we will be getting some bouts of rain. We'll see how that actually goes. Marion says, making sure you're still his, Anne, right? I got to check. I got to check on that. Um, what else? There's something else I thought I was going to talk about, but oh, we will not have the live on Friday evening this week. We have a friend coming into town from Seattle. Um, so we will be spending time with him. We might do a live earlier in the day. We'll see. But at this point, we are not planning a live for Friday evening. So you're going to have to stick with us today through Thursday and get your AG Bead Fam time in, because we probably won't be doing it Friday night. Well, we won't be doing it Friday night. We might do something Friday earlier in the day. We'll see. Um, but that is, I just wanted to let everybody know that. If you didn't know, or if you haven't seen or heard, we did pick a book for book club. It is Miss Benson's Beetle, and you can, we're going to meet on July 10th. So you have from now until July 10th to read the book and think of a project and start making a project, or make a project and show us. We get together on Zoom July 10th from 7:30 till about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we will talk about the book. um, the idea is that you read the book and you make something inspired by the book. It's the Allegory Gallery Inspired by Reading Book Club. So you can make anything. It does not have to be jewelry. A lot of us are jewelry makers, so that's what ends up happening. But you can make anything. Any crafter is welcome to join our book club. This is not specifically for um, jewelry makers, right? So read the book, make something inspired by the book, and get ready to talk about the book and your creations on July 10th. Now, you ask me, William, what happens if I don't get something made before the meeting? Can I still attend? The answer is yes. You can still attend the meeting whether or not you've made something. Many people make something during the meeting. Many people don't get to make something until after the meeting. Um, so you can also ask, a lot of people do, William, what if I don't finish the book? Can I still attend the meeting? The answer is yes, as long as you don't mind spoilers. We will not, I mean, sometimes we try to be careful about it, but generally we will not withhold information just because somebody hasn't read the book. We are going to talk about the book. We will talk about the ending of the book. So if you haven't finished the book, just come knowing that there will be spoilers. All right. But you're still more than welcome to come and hang out with us. We would love to have you. So that is on Zoom. If you're wondering, hey, William, where can I find the Zoom link? It's on our blog and also in the event that we've created for the book club night on our Facebook page. All right. Hi again. Um, Jen says, just finished eating dinner, shepherd's pie, a current fave. I used to love shepherd's pie and cottage pie, both. Um, but no, well, we still sometimes make something like it, even though we use fake meat crumbles. Kimberly says, I did get the audiobook, need to start listening. Good, good. The audiobook, if you are getting the audiobook, we listened to that and we found the narrator to be good. Sometimes the narrators are annoying, or it's hard to listen to. There was nothing in this one that I remember having any issues listening to. So if you are a person who prefers to listen to your books, that it's a good one. I hope you feel the same way, but we found that to be the truth. So that's that. Um, Andrew says it goes quick. I feel like it does. Yeah, it's an easy read. Um, I think I got halfway through the book, reading it, uh, just reading the physical book, because I have the physical book too. Um, and for some reason, we transferred over and started listening to it. Andrew wanted to listen to it too. So I can't remember why or how or even when we listened to it together. Some trip, obviously, because it's usually the only time we listen to books at the same time together. But even the book, and I'm not a fast reader, but I was able to read half of the book before I went into the audiobook. So um, it's a good one. I think it's a good one. Um, Kimberly says, unfortunately, I will not be able to participate in the get together. I will be in the car headed to Houston. Oh boy, that's a shame. But at least maybe you can show us what you make inspired by the book. That'll be. Where are you going there for? What's going on? What's going on? Um, but yeah, we'll miss you. But yeah. After that, the week after that is going to be the creative make along. So that'll be July's creative make. No, I'm wrong. July has 5. So it's going to be 2 weeks after that is the creative make along. scratch that, 2 weeks after Creative Make Along. Um, our Creative Make Along for this month is next Friday, not this coming Friday, but for next Friday, we will have our Creative Make Along. So there will not be a live this Friday or next Friday. This Friday, we're hanging out with a friend, and next Friday is the Creative Make Along. So we hope you'll join us for that on Zoom. That's where we get together and we don't do a live, but we all hang out together live. Um, Not live. We hang out together on Zoom. We are all live with one another, but we don't broadcast it. So you can hang out with us if you'd like to join us on Zoom. Last time we had 16 or 17 people, I think, that joined us, which was really a great crowd. So hopefully you will join us this time and hang out with us and make some stuff. The Creative Make Along is just to bring a project and make something. You don't have to. You can organize, you can just hang out if you want to, but it's nice when people are making stuff. And Kimberly says, if I was alone in the car, I would join and chat. I bet. I bet. Um, but that's all right. We'll miss you. But says we were going to our niece's wedding. Okay. That's important things, right? Important things. She says, absolutely, we'll make something. Good. So that's a quick 30-minute quick catch up on what we've been doing. Today, I got a good number of packages out in the mail, um, and worked on combining some other ones and getting some other ones ready. Andrew had some things for me to ship that I shipped out, and he was here at the cottage with me doing a little bit of cleaning and redding up, as we say here in Western Pennsylvania. Um, uh, Andrew says we did metal components. Yes, that was, I was talking about that at the beginning of this live. It was Thursday and Friday, we did our metal components. So if you missed those, make sure you check those videos out because there's still a lot of good stuff available from that. And so we did metal last at the end of last week. That's the Kochi Tribe metal components. And Andrew says, I punched holes in metal for about an hour. Yeah, he was over there punching holes in metal, getting ready for some things to be made. Andrew's got a lot of things coming up, um, teaching gigs and kind of crafty things happening. So yeah, so he was working on some projects there for that too. And then we went to the bank and we went to the grocery store. We dropped stuff off at the post office. I just made it to the post office in time today. I was like, one more, I'm gonna go one more package, one more package. So I just we cut it close. Just made it to the post office though, and dropped those things off. Andrew says it makes me tired thinking of everything. Yeah, I dropped Andrew off at the house because he was going to rest. I see he is not resting, but he was supposed to rest, which is why he's not here today. He got his energy lower. He didn't sleep very much last night or at all. And so I dropped him off at the house, and then I came back up here to do the live. And I kind of had a like I was watering things and taking care of some things and doing a little bit of, I had to pick stuff for the live and all that. But I was kind of having like a down moment. Like I was just starting to get really into feeling overwhelmed a little bit. Um, and not by anything in general. It was just just a like things have felt I felt pretty good with things recently. Things have felt pretty okay, but I just had a moment. I had to kind of shake that. I had to kind of try to get out of that um, mentality. So that was, I don't know, that I had a kind of rough afternoon time or evening. I guess it's evening, be considered the evening for most people. It's kind of like our afternoon. 6 p.m., 7 p.m. is our afternoon. Um, but yeah, it just kind of came over me and I was starting to get caught up in my feelings and just things happening and nothing's really, it's not really anything in particular. Um, but I think that happens to all of us, and it's important sometimes, to take a moment. And that's when I got up and that's when I started to go out and water the flowers. And I just remembered um, Micah, who does the grass and stuff, was out there, and I was starting to water the flowers, and I had to take them down because I didn't want them raining on his head as he was doing the weed eating, because he was like coming around the bend. And I just remembered I didn't put them back up, so I have to remember to hang them back up so they don't fall off the banister if it gets windy. Um, but yeah, I decided, okay, I'm going to take a break from what I'm doing and I'm going to go out, I'm going to water the flowers. And I just kind of went around the yard. I watered the what are they? The Siberian irises, is that what we just determined they are? And the pear tree and the hanging baskets we have. And just kind of took a moment. I think it's important to remember that if you're feeling that way, take a moment for yourself and just do something out of your normal to get, kind of throw yourself out of that. I found that sometimes helps me. Um, uh, it's because you missed me, says Andrew. Very possibly, right? It was right when I came back, and so it could be. Um, um, Andrew says maybe you felt me bawling my eyes out. There was a really emotional moment in the audiobook I'm listening to. Maybe. It's possible. It's possible. I'm sure we're linked like that. Um, but yeah, it just hit me like, and it was like a good hour, and I was worried that I was going to get into like an anxiety kind of situation, and that's why I had to shake it off and go do something else. I was sitting at my desk trying to do things, and I was not functioning well mentally. And my attention was not on what I was doing. So I was like, this is not working. So I got up and went outside a little bit. Andrew asked, did Micah do the grass? Yes, he did the grass and he did the flower beds. And I went out and talked with him. Um, when I was out there. He was just doing he was doing around the flower beds again. He's like, I thought you wanted the front part left out. I'm like, no, take them all down. So the flower beds completely got weed eated. Um, and I haven't been out to see the final part, but I'm sure it looks great. He always does a really good job. Susan's here. Susan Surreal, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you could make it. Um, uh, Everyone just saying hi to Susan. Yeah, so that's been our day, our weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend. I talked to some people in the D stash, so some of you all I've already heard kind of what you've been up to, but feel free to mention in the comments how your weekend was, what you all did. Hopefully you're all doing well. Um, if you're you know what? We don't like to talk about things that are not going well too often, right? But if you are feeling something and you need a little bit of good energy your way, feel free to let us know, and we can send some good energy your way. But if also, what we always love to hear are when good things are happening. We'd love to hear good things. So if something good happened to you this weekend, um, let us know. Our good thing is, we've had a lot of good things. We had visits from friends. I got to hang out with two different friends for a number of hours at the shop. That was really nice. I saw some of the local kids in the neighborhood. I also went over to the fabric shop, the Gilded Bobbin, and talked with them a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean quite a bit. I had to keep peeking out to make sure no one was coming into the store, and but I hung out there for a little bit and talked with them. They are looking into doing some lives and things like that. And they were asking us, they said, we know you do it pretty often. I'm like, yes, we do it very often. And they were kind of picking my brain about what we do and how we do it. So was happy to help them as well. And hopefully the advice I gave them helps. And I can't wait to see what they do with it. So that was really nice. That was a great thing this weekend. Um, I think we had some pretty good dinners this weekend. We had chicken nugget wraps, which I always like. Today, Andrew has some leftovers that we're combining some. We bought some fake meat crumbles, and we're gonna combine that, and he's gonna make something. So that should be good. I'm very hungry right now, and I'm very interested in that. We stopped and also got some sorbet. Um, Sorbet? Yeah, sorbet from the grocery store. Kind of a little treat for ourselves. I think Andrew already ate his. I have not. I'm saving mine for after dinner. Um, So he's gonna make something. Um, I have been taking. I found some CBD um, gummies and tincture that I like, and I've been taking those, and I think they're making me hungry. They always say the other stuff makes you hungry, but I think the CBD has been making me very hungry. And I don't know if that's a if because I don't know if that's a thing with CBD, but I know the other stuff made from the same plant makes you hungry. So I'm assuming that can happen, or maybe it's just because I've been feeling hungrier because it's summer and you're just sweating and your body's processing a lot. But I've been very hungry, so I'm looking forward to dinner tonight. Um, let's see here. Marion says a little mental health break. Yes, it was good. I took a little mental health break outside and just watered some flowers and talked to Micah real quick about stuff. And yeah, he was planning on cleaning out some gutters, and both he and his father do not like heights, which is strange. He was telling me because his dad had told me that was in special forces and jumped out of airplanes. He can jump out of an airplane, but he cannot. He does not like to be on a roof or up in a tree too high. Like that kind of thing, which I just find so wild. And Micah was trying to he was telling me about how his dad was trying to get him to jump out of an airplane for his birthday one year. And he's like, we need to do a different kind of father son bonding because it's not going to happen. So that was really funny. I like that. But yeah, so it was good to just talk to somebody else. And when I was in that mood, it was good just to hear a funny story like that. Um, Andrew says, if I have enough steam in the morning tomorrow before it gets too hot, I'll mulch the flower beds. Okay. um, yeah, there's still mulch, but our mulch is, I don't know, what you going to use the mulch that's there? Um, just spread the the things. Um, Norma says, I went to some bluegrass jam music for Lexington Porch Fest on Saturday. Sunday was Pride. Sunday at church with a special service and potluck cookout. That's nice. The Bluegrass Festival here is, I think, coming up soon at the end of June. And I never have ever gotten to go to it. And I don't know if we're going to get to go to it at all this year either. It always, for one, happens on a weekend, and I'm always working. Um, and I don't know exactly what weekend it is. Um, if it's the weekend of the 20th, I might sneak out and see if I can do it. But the 27th, Andrew has a thing, and I don't know if I'm helping him with that thing or not in Pittsburgh. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Andrew says, I already finished my sorbet. I was going to save half, but I got it back out. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. I don't blame you. Marion says, I had mushroom fried rice and honey garlic ribs. Not the best I've had, but still enjoyed them. For some reason, when I read that real quick, um, I read it as I had magic mushroom fried rice. And I was like, who, what are you doing, Marianne? What kind of what kind of food? Um, just like wonder what's Marianne getting into? No, just mushroom fried rice. Um, I don't know where the magic came from, but in my mind that was there. Um, so anyway, yeah. So let's flip the camera around and get started looking at things. I picked out some things for y'all today. Hopefully you like them. Um, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask while we are live or send us an email. Um, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, so let's see here what's going on. Okay. Ba, ba, ba. Got that. I haven't checked my email in a little bit here. All right. Gonna flag something. Great. Marian says, that might be interesting. I know, right? Dominique says, ha ha ha, could be good. I know. I don't know. I've never done mushrooms. Not those kind anyway. Um, but I hear great things about them from some people. So who knows? Maybe magic mushroom fried rice. Maybe it's a thing. I hear they don't taste great though. That's what I've been told. Um, anyway, we are not a medical channel, y'all. Don't take medical advice from us. Let me flip this around. Ba-ba-ba. Okay. Leslie says, I cooked hash browns and eggs for dinner, having a chocolate chip brioche cookie with ice cream for dessert. Ooh, that sounds good. Hash browns and eggs sound delightful. Delightful. Um, Marion says, don't think they grow here anyway. Paula says, Michigan morels are wonderful. I bet. I bet. Susan says, that sounds good, Leslie. It does. I do love me some breakfast for any time of the day. I've always loved breakfast any time of the day. Um, let's see here. What letter? I think. Um, what letter are we on? We do. I think our last ones were D, E, F. Yeah. So this is, let me make sure, E, F, G lots today. Yeah, I don't think we've done that yet. E, F, G is the lot number for today. All right. Let's see here. Dominique says they grow here, LOL. Len got BK on the way home. Probably not a great idea, as I just had food poisoning. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've had food poisoning before. And after having it, um, I'm trying to remember the day after, well, the day that I really had it. I got it the night before. The day that I had it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Um, um, and then the day after, I feel like I got really hungry again. And so you want to eat the things you like, that aren't going to be kind of, the things that you eat something that you know is good and you like. Susan says, I had a boyfriend who used to put the magic mushrooms in a peanut butter sandwich. Ooh, I don't know. Like I said, I've never done them, but I don't know. Andrew says, with all the rain this year, it was supposedly a good year for morels. Yeah, a lot of people had a lot of morels pictures this year on Facebook. Paula says, I had to feed the kitties, so I heated up some turkey breast with mashed potatoes and gravy. That sounds delicious too. Norma says, peanut butter with magic mushrooms seems a strange combo, but I guess you wouldn't care. Yeah, I guess the peanut butter would. Oh, Dominique says peanut butter would totally cover up the taste. I can see it. Yeah, I could see peanut butter covering up a multitude of sins, right? Because I do hear they taste terrible. Um, Most people I've heard do it as a tea, um, and still the tea is apparently terrible. Uh, anyway, let's see here. I'm going to show you this. These are one of the pieces we were going to hold off on showing you these, because we did a metal show, but then we didn't incorporate these because we did the metal show from the home office. So I guess I do still have a little bit of metal here for you. But this is a large metal bead. I do not believe these are from the same tribe. I believe these are from Nepal. Um, they're not the Kochi tribe stuff. But this is a large metal bead, approximately 50 by, let's see here, 50 by, let's go up here. This is a little bit wider, about 23 millimeters. One of them available, EFG1. If you are new, I'll go over how to claim real quick. If you're new, or you forget, in order to claim, you just take down the lot number, for example, EFG1, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. I just realized my overlay wasn't there. There it is. info@allegorygallery.com. It's right up here. So put EFG1 in the subject line, send it to info@allegorygallery.com, and hit send. That's it. Every time you want to send us an email to claim something, send a new email. Don't reply to old emails, do all that, stuff. Just send a new email every time. If you send an email, you're promising to take it if you get it, but everything is first come, first serve. So first person that uh, flows into our inbox gets it. Let's see here. All right. Susan says the peanut butter did cover the taste. That is why he did it. Yep, makes sense. And says love morels cooked correctly, tastes like steak. Huh. I don't know that I've ever. Maybe I haven't had them cooked correctly but I don't also I can't remember the last time I actually had morels. So that could also be why. All right, next up. So have y'all gotten into making anything? You've been making stuff this weekend? This is another metal bead. I went over here to pick up. We have in the home office, we have the lights that I keep holding up like this. I don't have to do that here. We've got lights that are pretty good. So this is granulation. This is a silver granulation. So each one of these little balls are made individually, and then they're layered on there and soldered down. So they have to make them individually into the round little balls. They have to stack them. They have to keep them in place as they hit them with a torch to solder them all down. That's a lot of work and takes a lot of time. The hole for this one goes like this. So it runs across the top like this. Cute little bead. And that's $16. And this is about 20 millimeters by 12, 21 by 12. Hey, Susie's here. Susie Wyatt, thank you for joining us. Susan Sorrell says, I made a pair of earrings this morning. Nice. Nice. Susie asked, do you have any prayer beads? I don't know. That's a question for Andrew, and he's not here. So I won't have them for the show today, but if you want to send us an email, you can ask and we can see what we can do. Susan says that is a cool bead. It really is. It really is a cool bead or a focal. You could use that on a chain as a focal. Pretty nice, I think. We just sold 2. So thank you so much. That one has sold out. Appreciate you. Anne says, I have not made a darn thing. Oh no, Anne. I was hoping after the creative make along spurred you into making again. You were busy making stuff. Susie should say prayer will beads. Send us an email, Susie, because we don't. For one, I will never remember from the comments. But if you're looking for something specific, you can send it. Or if we're having a total request live, you can ask during those. Am I disconnected? I don't think so. Total Request Live, you can ask for those. Or even if Andrew's just here with me, then sometimes he can go and do stuff like that. But I'm here alone today. Andrew's on the comments, so I can't check. Norma says it's been a couple weeks since I've made anything. I don't know why. What? What are y'all doing? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? I know sometimes it happens, especially at the start of summer, right? Into the warmer. I mean, we're not really in summer yet, right? But um, into the start of warmer weather, it happens. I know. Oh, this is nice. This is, let's see, we had this at 22. I'll bring it down to 18 today for you all. Um, let's see here. Angela said 57 sounds like a dream. Oh, the temperature? Yeah, sounds nice, right? Susan says, I might have one small prayer wheel bead, had a pair of earrings and lost one. Susie says, we're all exhausted. Hot weather doldrums. Maybe. I think some people get energized in the hot weather. There's some people who love that weather. I do not. This is a dyed chalcedony. Beautiful dyed chalcedony. Look how bright that is. How colorful, how glowy that is. Faceted rounds. Len says, sometimes I have so many projects, I feel overwhelmed. I can see that. I can see that. Generally, thankfully, I only feel overwhelmed when I have things that I know I must get done. If I'm doing things for fun, I generally don't. I can have like a lot of things like on the back burner and it doesn't bother me. But it's when I know that things absolutely must happen. That's when I start to get anxious about things and get overwhelmed about it. Um, but I know that's different for everyone. Sometimes just having a few things on the back burner. These are 8 millimeter, 8 millimeter dyed chalcedony strand. Beautiful bright green. Sometimes just having things on the back burner for people is enough to make them like a little bit wild, right? A little bit anxious. This is about a 16-inch strand, just under 15 and a half inch strand, maybe. This has to go over here. Marianne says, yuck, too hot and humid. Susan says, I don't know how anyone could love this swampy, humid, hot crap. I know. I know. There are people who are just, I know people who are like, I can't wait till winter's over and the heat comes back. And I don't know why those people like that. But some people do. Some people do. It's not me. I don't mind the hot weather. It's the humid hot that I do not like. Um, I've kind of gotten a little bit okay with regular hot weather. But like one year we had pretty decent weather as far as low humidity. And I actually found myself out and doing things. Normally, when it's high humidity and it's hot, I don't go outside. Um, I'm usually an inside cat during that time. But um, when it was just dry heat, I wasn't too bad. I went out running. That was I think the last year that I really did a lot of running. Um, and I didn't mind it, which I was very surprised because I always said I hated the heat, period. And it didn't bother me then. These are these little dimpled, almost strawberry-like. Um, are they strawberries? No, they're just dimpled. They're just dimpled. I'm like, do they have a little crown? But they're just a dimpled bead. $6 for the strand, vintage check glass. And these are about, I'm going to say 9 millimeters by about 11. Odd size, 9 by 11 millimeters. Paula says, my granddaughter is here Tuesday and Thursday, and we make jewelry together. She just loves it. That's awesome. That makes me happy. Um, uh, I like when kids can do things with their grandparents. My grandmother and we used to do a lot of stuff together. And I miss her and I miss that. So it's nice that you're creating those memories with your granddaughter. Sue says, I have a bracelet put together, just needs beads and an N and a clasp. N beads and clasp. Tell me about it. How many things do I have that need that need clasps? Too many, way too many. Norma says, how fun, Paula. One of the many reasons fall is my favorite season, says Marianne. Yes, fall is my favorite season. I feel like fall smells good. It uh it is cooler. It's cooling down. It's a beautiful time to go walking in the woods. The leaves around here are beautiful. We sold 3, by the way. Thank you so much out there. Appreciate it. Good to see you too. Um, yeah, I love the fall. I love the fall in Western Pennsylvania, especially. It's beautiful here during the fall. We definitely get a full change. Marion says, my Nana told me stories about her childhood in Scotland. That's awesome. Okay. I had these the other day. Um, I haven't seen our San Diego friends. Kim, are y'all out there? Y'all watching today? What's going on? I haven't heard from any of y'all out there. I had some of these the other day. And you can see how my brain works, right? All of a sudden, I'm like talking about this, and then, forgot about, like, didn't see someone. Are they out there? My brain is a little bit wild like that. I was thinking about it. I actually saw the guy that mows our grass. I saw them at the Dollar General. I didn't realize, like, I didn't realize that it was him until I was back in my car and I had walked like past them and didn't realize. And I felt so bad. I actually messaged him later. I'm like, if that was you, I'm sorry because I didn't even realize it until the end. But I realized how much like my brain flits from one thing to another. And I'm often not in the actual like moment. I'm often in my head about things. Um, let's see here. These were 12. I think I had them at 8. I don't know if I did. I may have had them at 10 the other night, but I'm going to do these at 8. Let's see, 8. There's 12 of these. These are these little rice pearl beads. I had them, I think, in the hot pink the other night. And I was telling everyone that I had them in like this popcorn butter yellow. So here they are. And they're these little vintage rice pearls. This is a very inexpensive at this price, $8 each only for a full strand. Um, one of these strands is loose. I'm going to pull that away. There's 2 of them. Let's pull that away just to show you. I wanted to show you them all together, though. It's nice to see kind of the color of them when they're all together. And this is what one strand looks like of those. They're these kind of bumpily, rumply little pearls. They are freshwater pearls. They're super cool. And they're in this beautiful bright yellow color. Width-wise, they're about 3 to 4 millimeters. Hey, May, thanks for joining us. And each strand is only $8. $8 for a strand of pearls, EFG5. And these strands these strands are 16 inches, 16-inch strands. Really great price on those little pearls. I don't even want to know what it took to put holes in these pearls to string those. That's kind of amazing. If I had to do that, they'd be $16,000 a strand. But they're $8 here for y'all. What a deal. Andrew says, I have a kit over on the one table if you want. Maybe y'all want a kit? You want to see a kit today? We still have the one kit in the online store. There's still some of it. Some of y'all grabbed one of those. That's this kind of blue toned kit that we created, well, Andrew created. And that is still available in the online store if you'd like to grab one. But yeah, maybe I'll show you. See, Andrew's not even here, and he still can insert things into the live, which I like because sometimes I feel even bored when it's just me. I hope y'all don't get bored of me. but Norma says they're like Rice Krispies. That's exactly what they're like. And they are rice pearls, right? But they're like Rice Krispie pearls. Probably can't say that because of copyright issues, but that's what they remind me of. Little Rice Krispie pearls. All right. No one's jumping at those. I thought people would like those. Maybe not. Tried to give you a really good deal on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of y'all may also already have those. We have 4 of these available. They're $6 a strand. These are kind of these, is it Celtic knots? Some kind of knot design. I don't know if it's necessarily Celtic. Kind of a knot design though on those. These are vintage check glass, and these are little coins, and they are about 8 millimeters. And that's EFG6. There are 4 strands of this left only. Once those are gone, they're gone. $6 a strand. Let's see here. There is a mix ready also, says Andrew. The kit is on the small square table. Is that the one in the bowl with the other ones? Let's see what Andrew's talking about. Let's see what he's got over here. This little beautiful Flutterby kit. This beautiful Flutterby. Oh. Marianne says, looks more Asian than Celtic. That's what I thought too. They're in the little tin. It's the Luna Moth colored one. Yes. So, here, let me just show you. Let me just show you. The mix is in a tin on the long tables. It's like metallic with a bit of purple. It's not bagged yet. There's not a lot of the mix. Is that the one? There's not really a lot of it, just a little mix. Yeah, it's this one, I think. Okay, so let me show you the mix first. This is the mix. What do you think, everybody? There's not a lot of it here. That's probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 bags of the mix. It's really pretty though. Those, it's these kind of lustery, Andrew says maybe 2 or 3 bags. Yeah, the way Andrew stuffs them, it probably would only be 2 to 3 bags. So it's a beautiful mix. You want to do, what do you want to do on the mix, Andrew? EFG, we'll call this 7. We've sold 1 of the strands of the pearls. Thank you so much. I'm going to say there's at least 3 mixes. We normally are doing these, we're going to be doing our mixes at $14 a bag. But I'll drop this one. Let's drop this one down to 12. And I'm going to say there's at least 3. Oh, Andrew's saying 10. All right. I didn't think on a brand new debut we were going to do 10, but so there you go. EFG 7. You're going to get a bag of this mix. If you don't know, here's what, this is what one of the bags looks like. I think they're 2x3 bags. This, by the way, is the mix that is inside the next kit that we're going to show you here coming up. Andrew says we can do 10 for the blend just for tonight. Okay. So if you want one of those, there's probably only 3 bags, maybe 4 in there. So I'll take those first come, first serve as I can get them, as I pack them up. But $10 only just for tonight. EFG8. And let's see. I didn't count how many kits you made. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 5. Let me make sure that's one of them. Yeah, there are only 5 of these kits. And these kits start out with one of these luxury bead blends. And I'll dump a little bit out if I have my triangle. Yeah, we dump a little bit out in my triangle. You can kind of see some of the goodies you might get in your bag. Steal of a deal on the mix, says Marianne. It really is. We've sold 2 of them already. There's 3 to 4 of them only available. So 1 to 2 of them left. I'll pack them up and after the show here. This is kind of a Luna Moth blend. Luna Moth colors, Andrew said it was inspired by. And you're getting some metal beads in there. You're getting some of the vintage check glass. Not everyone's will be the same, remember. There are some teeny tiny pearls. Little pearls in there. Look at that. That's fun. Little grape bundle. You're getting some opalite in there. These are nice. These little shell kind of flowers. Kind of natural shell, almost like a sequin, like a shell sequin. Vintage check. So you're getting that whole bag in the kit. And then you're also getting a check glass drook strand, a mini drook strand. These are small. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, about 3 millimeters, 3 millimeter drooks. We just already had somebody claim one of the 8s before I put a price on it. Guess they really are sure they want the Luna Moth. There we go. And then we have these. You get the Lucerna bicones with it as well. And then you get the butterfly. This is an Allegory Gallery fine pewter butterfly in antique silver butterfly bead. So let's see here. I don't know that Andrew priced this out yet. So let's go to our website to see butterfly bead. Let's see how much that is normally. That's normally $275. So 275 plus 14 generally for the luxury bead blend, plus the drook strand, that would be about 3, plus the Lucerna bicones are 2. So 2175 would be for everything. Let's do it. Let's see here. Let's do it at 18. 18. That's EFG8, $18. And that's for the kit. We've sold one of those kits as long as somebody didn't accidentally claim 8 instead of 7. But they may have just been so sure they wanted 8. We have sold, I'm sure we have probably sold out of 7 by now. We've sold 4 of them. I don't think I'm going to get any more out of that, but you can keep claiming if you missed out on it and you might want it. We'll see how it goes. Marianne says, great price. Good. Glad you all like the prices. I think that's a very fair price for that kit. $18. We've just sold another one of these, so we're down to 3 of them only available. Marianne says, yes, I want 8. Okay. I didn't want to call you out. I don't call anybody out, but I want to make sure. I figured that was the case. So we've sold 2 of the kit then for sure. We only have 3 of them left at $18 only. Jen says, love the kit colors, right? Isn't it beautiful? Really great colors on that. Inspiration kit by Andrew. All right, I'm going to put, we still have this beautiful Nepalese bead. We have one of these, or Tibetan. We have one of these available still. $26. I'm going to put that away. And I'm going to go ahead and put 4 away. That's the little strawberry beads. And I'm going to move these down. Little popcorn, I call them popcorn butter pearls. And do I have, just to save some room. Let me see if I have, I don't. Oh yes, I do. I have one of these bags. I'm going to bag up one of these. Let me put this back in the bag. Marianne says, I just wanted to be sure I got one. Good. I like when people are excited for it. Let's do this to see, with an idea of how much will actually fit in a bag. And get down to some of the deep in there. This is a beautiful blend. Yeah, there really is probably only 2 to 3 bags in here. There might only be 2 bags in there. We'll see. We'll see when it all washes out here. Okay. That's the kit. EFG 8. All right, we sold another EFG 8, so we're down to only 2 of these left. 2 of those left. EFG 9 coming up. So that was Andrew adding in. Just leave it for me to do. I can't, because I have to know how many people to bill. I can't leave it for you to do. I have to know. I've got to know, Andrew. Got to know. Love this mix, says Dominique. Thank you. Okay. Next up. We have these at 12, which is a really good price. Probably was the sale price. And do these for 8. Andrew said a maximum of 4. Okay, so you're gonna make sure there's 4. All right, let me see. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've sold out. We've sold out. We've hit 4. Andrew might throw some extras in there to make sure we get to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14. There are 15 of these. These are those little Rice Krispie pearls, but this time in this deeper pink color. We had the bright pink the other day. This is more of a deeper kind of, it's more of a coral, I'd say. More of a coral. And I think I have one of these um, singularly in the bag here. So I'm going to pull these and just place the one up here to save room. So here we go. Aren't they cool? Look at the color in that. There's rainbow. Like, did you see that? There are rainbows in there. They're dyed pearls, freshwater, vintage. They are pretty. Very, very pretty. Beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. EFG9. $8, 15 strands available. Okay. Next up. I thought these would be fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know some of you like just the big stones. I do these for $3 each. These are a dyed jade, but they're a really pretty red color. Norma says the coral pink and yellow might look pretty together. Of course. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Whoa. I think they look nice with this too. These are large dyed jade. Susie says those pink pearls are perfect for summer. Yes, they are. The yellow ones too. What the heck? These are 30 by 40 millimeters. Faceted dyed jade drops. Just really pretty. Big drops. I know some of y'all like those. Selling them by the piece. If you wanted to see these two together, look how fun. Super fun, super fun, super fun. And then I think the yellow would be nice. You could throw the yellow in with this if you got one of these kits. Look how pretty that would go in with there. The yellow in there. That would be very pretty. These actually would look really pretty together because of the gold wash in there. That yellow. Super fun. Super nice. And I think these look nice together. Those colors together. Maybe add a little bit of gold in there. Really pretty. Marianne says the kit and the yellows. Yes. I think so too, right? Super nice. Got that little butterfly bead in there. It'd be super cute. Okay. Come on. Do what I want. Okay. EFG 11. We've sold one of the 10 so far. Thank you so much. We've still got 4 of those available. I think this is the very last strand of these. Let me see what price I can do on these. We had them at 12. I'll do it for 8. These are vintage Japanese beads. You get a strand of 6 of them. Super pretty. They're this purpley and black and white with some swirls. And they're pinched kind of like that. So they're pinched on one end and then pinched the other way on the other end. Jen says, and the other bead mix with the red pearls. You like these together? There you go. Play around with everything. I love the green and purple. So love that together. Especially with that opalite. I feel like that really, when you see those together, I don't know why, it looks really nice to me. These beads on here at their widest are about 10 millimeters, and lengthwise, they are about 17. One strand left, vintage Japanese glass. Kimberly says, I have a strand of these. They are fabulous. Love green and purple, says Dominique. Me too. Me too. We've just sold one of the 9s. Thank you so much. Those little pink pearls. All right, I'm going to put the yellow ones away. Even though they're going with so many things right now. I even feel like that would be nice. I like bronzy and yellow, especially with the purple thrown in. All right, this EFG5, EFG6, vintage check glass coins with the knot design, $6 a strand. We've just sold out of 11. Thank you so much. 11 is now sold out. That way. Susan says, I should say I had a strand as they went into products. Good, 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 good. Okay. Okay, that was 11. EFG 12. I love these so much. Okay, I'm going to give you a good price on these. We had 24, and we were selling them in the store for 22 to 24 for these. I have one left. I'm going to mark it way down, $16. And it's these beautiful garnet diamond shaped beads. Really pretty garnets. Jen says, Susan, they live on in your memory, right? Beautiful garnets. Whoa, I want those to fall off. So you get a strand of those, only $16 for the strand, really pretty color. They are real garnets. It's about a 14.5-inch strand. Look at that color though, that berry color. Really pretty. And they do vary in size. Widthwise, they're about 4 to 5 millimeters. Lengthwise, this one's about 6. One strand available, EFG 12, was $24 for the strand, now 16. Real garnets, really pretty color. And really good translucency in those beads. When you look at them, like that's another thing you always want to look at. Look how clear. They're not foggy. There's some inclusions here and there, but they are really clear, nice quality garnets. $16, one strand available. One moment, I'm going to take a drink. Losing my voice. I've been trying to pick up my water intake as it gets hotter. It's not always an easy thing to do. EFG 13. This is another little metal bead. And it's just this little metal pendant or charm. Cut, stamped, only $3. It was about 21 millimeters by about 24. 21 by 24 millimeters. Another one of these metal tribe beads. I'm not sure if this one might be from the Kochi tribe. I'm not 100% sure on that. It did not come with our latest batch of things. Okay. What's up next? EFG 14. Andrews thinks African on this one. So African metal is Andrews' belief. And that's EFG 13, only $3. And something that's been doing pretty well lately, y'all have been liking, are these stone pendants. So I figured I'd bring this one out. I have this Jasper stone pendant. EFG 14, $6 only. And this is a 45 millimeter round pendant. Hole drilled at the top. Beautiful Jasper. It looks like Jupiter or something, right? Is it Jupiter? It looks like a planet. That's what it looks like. One of those available, EFG 14. I have a few different ones of these pendants tonight because y'all have been liking them and grabbing them up. So I wanted to treat you a little bit since you seem to like them. And we've got really good prices on them, I think. Only $5 or $6 on most of those. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this away. This is the mix. We did sell out of that. We still have the kit available, but not many. I think we're down to 2 or 3 of those only. So if you want one of those, do grab it quickly. Kimberly says, just needs a spot to be Jupiter. Marion says, Jupiter-ish. Pretty cool. I'll put this away. EFG 8. And let's move these down for now. Maybe Mars, says Marion. It feels a little brown to be the red planet to me. But maybe. Trying to see. I think that would be pretty together. You have some carnelian. That could look really nice with some carnelian. Oh, one of my faves. I think we sold out of all the larger ones of these. These are $14 each. We've got 3 of them available. This is a vintage check glass. It's AB coated, but it's also a slightly yellow glass. And so you get that kind of old age feel to it, like an old crystal, but it's vintage check glass. It's also a really cool cut. You can see how it's faceted. And this was the old price, $14. We're giving you that old price. So that's EFG 15. Really nice glass. And this size is the 15 millimeter by about 16 millimeter size. I think we had them in different sizes, but we've got 3 of these left. EFG 15. We've just sold 12, the garnets. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and put those away. Thank you. Thank you. Move this along. All right. EFG 16. And let me also, I did not need to check my junk mail today just to make sure nobody's going into junk here tonight. Good. We're all good. Sometimes people that have been with us for a long time go into the junk, and I don't know why, but they do. These are $8 each, and I've got 2 of them available. EFG 16. These are these vintage check glass 2-hole pyramid beads in this green, kind of green. There's a little bit of blue in there. It's like they have a slight AB finish. You can see some rainbows happening, but then they also have that kind of brown too. Dominique says, yay. And these are a cool thing if you're going to do like a bracelet, because they're 2 holes and they give you that. Remember when we all wore well, maybe not all of us. I guess I didn't, but the kind of studded leather. That's what that kind of reminds me of, but in a beautiful vintage check glass form. And these are about 13 millimeter beads. $8 a strand, 2 strands available. EFG 16. How's everybody doing out there? All 27 of you, thank you for joining us out there tonight. Hope you're having a great evening with us. We're enjoying our time with you all. If you're new or you haven't said hi yet, please feel free to say hi in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Meet new friends. That's what this is all about. Well, it's about selling stuff so we can stay in business, but it's also about meeting new friends. Len says, we includes me. Good. Glad you're enjoying. I'm enjoying it. This one is fun. This is, let me see here. What can I do on this? We had this at 16. I'm going to do it at 12. Andrew says, I love those Chanlu bracelets. Yes, that too, right? Got two of those. This is just a mix of some beads. We did these kind of groupings at one point, um, and I pulled these, and I love this beautiful, bright kind of color way that came out of this. There's some darker ones in here too, but just this beautiful. I think this is a serpentine. Nice kind of simple faceted, easy faceted serpentine. You got the dyed chalcedony here, just really that kind of bright um, dyed chalcedony. And then you've got a carnelian, nice big carnelian chunk. This is a Peruvian opal, beautiful Peruvian opal. Another piece, this is a blue chalcedony. Look at that. And then aquamarine. No stud for me, but ponchos were a thing. Nice. This is a quartz. Or autocorrect, replace the P with a C. Conchos. I was like, I don't know. Maybe use them in a poncho. I don't know. I don't think I know what a concho? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I don't know what that is. Metal disc or heavy plaque associated with Southwestern and Native American art. I don't know about that. I don't know. Anyway, this is a whole group of these. They were $16 for the group. And I brought them down to 12 tonight to see if we can get, I think this is the last one of these that I made that I have left. And this was one of my favorites, which is strange that it's left to me, because I think this is such a eclectic, fun thing. Funnily, ponchos were also a thing. Oh, we just sold 17. Thank you so much. It is sold out. Jen says there, the metal pieces, Southwest vibe. Okay. And they look like this. I don't know how that relates to these. That's what I'm confused about, I think. Or did I say something else? Because I was thinking about because there are like these metal studs that are this shape that were on leather jackets. But I'm not sure how the concho relates. That's probably me having brain fog and not putting two and two together. It happens, especially at this time and on the lives. Marianne says they are round and usually silver. Oh, okay. Len says Marianne sounds more hippie, less metal, but green spikes could be hippie. Oh, yeah, they could. You put 17 away. That one sold. Okay. Thank you for grabbing things. Those of you who are able to tonight, we really appreciate it. It helps keep us going, helps keep this whole thing going. And we're so appreciative to you all out there who do tune in and watch us and hang out with us and make things with us and buy things from us. It means a lot. Let me see if I can get one of these. All right. These are vintage Japanese beads. And these bead strands came in. I'm just going to cut this. It's safe to cut this. These came in our one of our kits. I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, it was Cloud Dancer. One of our our Cloud Dancer kit at the beginning of this year. I'm gonna say these are $6 a strand. I do have multiples of these available. EFG18. These are these vintage Japanese. Most of them still even have a made in Japan tag. It's falling apart on many of them, but it's still there. These are these little white drops. A lot of people, I think, like these in our Cloud Dancer kit. And if you wanted more, now's your chance. They're $6 a strand. The beads are 10-inch strands. And the beads themselves are about 6 millimeters by just about 10. 6 by 10. We got let's see here. Anne says, I don't know how they relate to the beads, but when I was in high school, I had a white ruffled shirt and blouse I wore with a concho belt. I thought I was styling. Nice. Nice. Marion says, they don't relate to these pyramid beads or pyramid beads, but studs were usually metal, as were conchos. Yes, they were metal. EFG 18, vintage Japanese white drops in glass. EFG 18, $6 a strand. Oops, I forgot to write. I do have multiples. I'm not counting them, but I have multiples of them available. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put 9 away. Ooh, I'm starting to get a headache though. I think it's from the heat today. I might be dehydrated. I don't know. I've been trying to drink more water, but I feel my neck tensing up and I feel the headache coming on. Let's see. Let's put these away as well. E10, $3 each. 4 of these still left. Conchos are popular right now, especially for bolo ties. Yes. Yes, they are. I know what you're all talking about now. I was very confused about the pyramid shape and that's why I was like, what? But yeah, I know what you mean now. Just add hemp, says Len. Hemp as in the fiber or the other THC? Yes, Marianne. No, right? Metal versus metal, says Len. Andrew says they are heavier ones, or the heavier ones are cast in tufa stone, but a lot of them are pressed. May says, Anne, I wore ruffled shirts too, but with a headband. What? Yeah. Those ruffly shirts, big things. And yes, either with a headband or a big belt, definitely a thing, right? I remember that. I remember girls wearing those in my classes too. Okay. Okay, this was 30. I'm going to do this because 30 is a little bit, that's a hefty price. So I'm going to bring it down below 30, even though I shouldn't, because that is the price. We generally don't alter these prices because these were already, like this was 30. This is vintage check glass. But this is this kind of mercurial glass I feel like it looks like a Mercury on the outside, and then it's table cut to a black inside. And I just feel like talk about metal, right? It feels like metal right there. But super cool, nice big strand. Bringing it down under 30 bucks for y'all tonight to see if there's only one left. These are 20 millimeters by, if I can get my hand out of the way to see better, by about 23. And that's EFG19, last strand of those. Marion says, now that I think about it, I am surprised I have never worn studs. Right? Anne says, ruffles must have been in. I had more than one ruffled shirt. May says, adamant was an influence. Anne says, remember the Limited, the height of fashion. Oh, the Limited stores? Yes, I do remember those. Marion says, I wore ruffles before adamant. May says, yes, and also Contempo Casual. I think I remember that store too. Lynn says, love adamant. I worked at Limited. Poet shirts, says Andrew. Yeah, remember wasn't that the poet shirt on Seinfeld? They made a whole big thing about that. That was the Jay Peterman, one of the Jay Peterman episodes, right? Jen asks, how did those black table cuts look with 15? These two? Pretty smoking. It pulls out the light colors in the metallic kind of edge. Good eye. They look really good together. I would not have caught that. I did not catch that. They look really good together. If you ask me. Oh, Leslie's going good night. Good night, Leslie. Thanks for hanging out. Anne says, we didn't have Contempo Casual. We had Casual Corner. May says, we had Casual Corner too. Nice. Let's see here. We just sold 19. Thank you so much. The big check glass has been sold. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, we just sold one of 18 as well. The vintage Japanese. We had multiples of that, so we still have some of those available. Marion says, poet shirts are a 19th century thing. Yes. Yes, they are. And Jay Peterman on Seinfeld tried to bring them back, right? I used to love the Jay Peterman catalog. I still kind of do. But my boss was really into Jay Peterman. And that got me into Jay Peterman. And I used to get the catalog and just dream of owning the things in the catalog. But here's what happened. If you don't know Jay Peterman, the catalog, everything was hand drawn. So all of the products were hand drawn and illustrated. They weren't the actual look of the product. It wasn't an actual picture of the product. And once they switched to where you could go to the website and see the actual product, a lot of the charm for me was lost. Like the actual products didn't always look like you imagined the illustration would in your head, right? But they did have quality things. I don't know if I don't even know if they're still out there, but or if they still do, but their stuff was really high quality. I know because my boss got some of them, but definitely was not quite the same as the drawings. This is a serpentine, and these are these little coins. $6 only for the strand. These are 10 millimeter strand or 10 millimeter coins, and it's an 8-inch strand. Just one left. EFG 20. Len says, sadly, they didn't have Adamant on the store music, just Van Morrison's Moondance over and over and over. Um, yeah, that kind of Muzak, um, which I'd never realized. They always talked about Muzak, like elevator music, Muzak. It's actually a brand. Muzak is a brand. We had it in the bookstore that I ran, and um, they would send you one disc a month, and you kept playing that song, that whole disc over and over and over and over. Um, Andrew said the descriptions were what those catalogs are really known for. Yeah, they were great descriptions. It was just fun to get the catalog and read the catalog when you got it. Check out the new stuff, the new descriptions. Corporate CD, says Len. Oh, because May asked, oh no, Len, your manager was in charge of the music. There's no corporate CD. Yeah. Too much repetition is never good. Yeah, it's, the thing is, like, you figure customers aren't going to shop more than a few times a month at most. So the customers never generally got tired of the music. It was just us who had to work there. Bloomingdale's did the same thing. Um, and we had special music for our section. And um, yeah, but and Bloomingdale shut down every day. I don't know if they still do in New York with the song New York, New York. And that's how they closed the store every day. So once that started playing, you knew you could start working on your register. This is green quartz, I think. Let me make sure. I wrote it down on here. Yes, this is green quartz. Green quartz, microfaceted rounds. Norma says, I love the J. Peterman catalog. J. Peterman lived in Lexington, and I used to see him in the airport wearing his signature long coat and hat. That's wild. That's really cool. I tried to write descriptions like that for the magazines I'd work for, and they were like, what in the J. Peterman catalog description is this? I tried to do it for I ran the website for the French boutique that I worked for. They didn't really have much, back then they didn't sell on the website or anything, but they had a showing of some of the things, especially their kind of permanent collections. And I tried to write descriptions for it, and they seemed to like them because they let me do them. And they held tight controls over a lot of stuff, but they let me write those descriptions. Um, let's see. May says, "Oh no, William, I thought bookstores were cooler with their music selection." Well, it it was in New York for one, and you could not. They had been BMI and what's the other one? The music groups had been through their store so many times to catch them on music violations, because you can't just pick music and play it. If you're going to play it in a store setting, a retail setting, you have to have music that you've licensed. And the Muzak, as long as you paid for the Muzak CD, you licensed that music to play in your store. These are 2 millimeters. So they were very much set in what they had to play or what they could play because of that. Andrew says, our customers at the restaurants hated the music. I worked at one where the owner really liked loud rock and roll. It was impossible to hear anything. Yeah. Vivian's here, says, this is Kim's lovely assistant. She's teaching a class right now. We were wondering where our crew was over there. Thank you for joining us, Vivian. Good to see you here. We'd get in trouble if we turned it down, says Andrew. That's hard. That's hard. EFG22. Yeah, there are all different kinds of laws with music. I know my boss, he had to pay fees to BMI, and for not only the music that we played in the restaurant from a CD, um, And you had to make sure that that CD, not only the CD, but the songs, each individual song had to be on BMI's list of music that they owned. Otherwise, if one song on that CD was licensed by the other, I forget what the other one's called. There are two or three big music licensing places. If one song on that CD was on there, you weren't supposed to play it technically. And if you had live music, a live band, and they were doing cover songs, they had to be licensed through that music or that place too. It's a lot. That's why a lot of bars and things just play the radio. So they don't have to deal with that. These were 18. I'll bring them down to 15. Oop. Some of the music they picked had curse words in, and I had people trained to turn down when the curse words came on, says Andrew. Yeah, that's hard when that happens, right? You don't necessarily want that in a place where everyone can come in, because some people get really upset about all that. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 strands of these. These are a beautiful AB coated. Well, they're coated. I don't know if they're AB coated. These are just coated. I thought AB because they're labradorite and they're flashing at me, but they are just a coated labradorite. Let me show you. So they have like that platinum coating, that silver coating on them, but they're really pretty labradorite, microfaceted rounds. And says, love Natural Wonders because we could play any CD we sold, new age, world music. I love Natural Wonders. We used to go in there a lot. I still listen to every once in a while Dan Gibson's Solitudes. I think that's where that CD we had originally came from, was from Natural Wonders. It was Dan Gibson's Solitudes. And I still look his music up on Apple Music and stuff and still play it every once in a while. It's good falling to sleep music. These are $15 a strand. There are 12 strands available, and these are about 2 millimeters. And I think I said rounds. These are rondelles. They're rondelles. Whoa. Andrew says, we used to have live jazz on Sundays and they were cool, but it was always so loud. Andrew says, I don't know if you ever went to the jazz. It was when I worked at 8th Street. No, I never went to the jazz. Well, never went there. That. I didn't even know they did that. Norma says, oh, I miss Natural Wonders. Andrew said, I used to listen to Echoes back in the day with John Diliberto. Okay. EFG marker. EFG 23. EFG 23. Faux turquoise donut pendant. It's a dyed howlite, most likely. One of those available, $5 only, and it is 40 milliliters. Len says we had to memorize all the rocks we sold They were big on product knowledge. That was a fun store to go into. Sorry, everyone, cracking my neck. We've just sold one of the 22s. Thank you so much. We still have 11 of those available. Where's my bag for this? All right, EFG 14, putting that away. That little planet. Nobody grabbed the planet. So that is still available. 13, 15. Nobody grabbed any of these chocolates. EFG 15s. They're so pretty. I think they'd be really pretty too with the labradorite. That could look really nice as spacers for that. And then says it helps with the beading knowledge now. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. And I'm going to go ahead and put the pyramids away. We've still got 2 of those available. $8 a strand only. Vintage check glass. And I'm going to go ahead and put these away too. The vintage Japanese drops. Nobody's grabbing the green quartz. I thought the green quartz would sell. People have been talking about wanting green quartz lately. Andrew says, in Orlando, they used to have the Black Mineral Market or Black Market Mineral. There was a place called Church Street Station, and it was like a mall in an old train station downtown. That's cool. Okay. So these were 20. Hey, I can say this name now. These are Swarovski, y'all. Swarovski vintage bicones. You get 1 gross of the chrysolite color. Boy, I'm doing a lot of greens, aren't I? Lots of greens tonight. These, I think, are 4mm. Yes, 4mm bicones in chrysolite color. 1 gross, which is 144 of those little beauties. And there's only 1 bag available of those. That's an old bag. Let's see. $18 for the whole gross of them instead of 20. EFG 24. Vivian says 10 students compared to 28 last week, and several are repeat customers. Nice. I know you had a lot last week, but I'm glad you're getting repeats. I'm glad that you had overflow. People are coming still. That's awesome. That's really awesome. People seem to be liking what you're doing. Oh. And this is $6. What else is, I don't know, maybe a moss agate of some sort. It's really pretty. Large donut pendant. This is 50 millimeters. And so I'm making it $6 instead of the 40 millimeters, which was 5. It's a really pretty green. And I think like if you mixed it with some of these greens, I think it could be really nice. Like mix it up, mix and match, play mix and match with it. EFG 25. One of those available. Tree agate beauty. Okay, Kimberly says tree agate. There it is. Tree agate. Thank you. Kim's popping in to say hi from the class. Pretty donut. Isn't it a pretty donut? Hey, Kim. Glad to hear your classes are going well. Still got people coming in for it. I love it. Andrew says, during Halloween, they turned it into a haunted house. I doubt it's still there. Probably condos now. Oh, Marianne also said, or a tree agate. Yes, tree agate. Tree agate. Whoa, let's see. That's too small. EFG 26. Marianne says, hey, Kim, now back to your clients, right? Andrew says, I made a great big necklace using these, and it looked like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Let's see here. We just sold one of the 6s. Thank you so much. Somebody must be watching from the beginning. That's one of the red vintage check glass knot patterns. And I love these, and y'all seem to not, but I'm going to show you them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 of them. I've had 6 of them. I've still got 6 of them. They're only $4. I don't know why no one likes these. I love them, but I like yellow, and some people have a thing with yellow. I don't know why, but look at these. Look how pretty they are. The bicolor glass, Givre, right? Givre glass in yellow and clear. Sometimes with a little brown thrown in for good measure. But I just think they're so lovely. And the shape, it's a little capsule, kind of flattened capsule shape. Bright, nice yellow. 6 millimeters by 15 millimeters. 6 strands available at $4. $4 for all that, y'all. Vintage check glass for $4 in a strand that is 8 inches. Such a good price. Norma says, I like them. Oh, good. At least somebody does. Like, I don't know why. No one likes the things I like. I know. I'm getting a little carried away, right? Getting a little carried away. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to put 20 away. These little coins. Only $6. Len says like flower petals. They are like flower petals. Yellow and brown, like a little sunflower. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put 21 away too, but I gotta find the bag. No, that didn't have a special bag. I can use any bag for that. No green quartz. You sure? You sure, everybody? Micro-faceted green quartz. Special price, $12. Okay, going away. The coated labradorite. Look at how pretty that is. Coated labradorite. Beautiful beads. Micro-faceted again. Special price, $15 a strand only. Oh, we just sold. Oh, we did 2 of the 26s. Hallelujah. Somebody likes them. 2 of the 26s have sold. It means we have 4 of them left only. Maybe that'll get the ball rolling. 21 would go with that kit. You're right, Marianne. You're right. You want to expand the kit you just bought tonight, y'all? Let's show it. Did you get one of the kits? Look at how well that would go with that kit. It would also go with that kit. Number 24. Look at that. Look at that with that kit. Or how about that? 24 with that kit. Add some of those Swarovski bicones in there. You can make your kit bigger and bigger and bigger. No end. No end. Start out with an $18 kit and grow it. Grow it into something even more beautiful. Yeah. Good eye, McMahon. Good eye. Says and also 24. Yep. Also 24. Okay. Let's see here. Marianne says one versus need and budget considerations. I get it. Andrew says if we sell enough, maybe we can convince William to get the BritBox. What do you want to watch on BritBox, Andrew? All these things everyone's recommending that we can only watch there? You know, it's not going to take much convincing for me to get the BritBox. I mean, if we sold all of 26, we could probably get a month of BritBox. Hint, hint. Hint, hint, everybody. 1, 2. How many of these do I have? What I got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. 7 of these at $4 each. These ones are, they were marked as a rare vintage bronze metallic bugle BD Mini HK. I don't know what all that means because I'm not a seed beater, but a rare metallic bronze bugle. And you get the whole hank. And I think 10 strands together on that. I hope you can see how lovely that color is. They are these little beautiful bugle beads, vintage, apparently rare. Beautiful color. I don't know if bugles are a certain size normally. These ones are about 6.5 millimeters. I mean, they do vary by about 2 millimeters. Super pretty. Only $4 for the whole hank. We've got 7 hanks available. There they are. EFG 27. Andrew said they're prettier in person. Yeah, I don't know how they're coming across. On my screen, they look okay, but they shimmer and shine. They shimmer and shine. Beautiful color, bronzy goodness. EFG 27. I tried to mix it up tonight with things in different price categories, like $4, $5, but also we have things 18 up to about $30 or so. Trying to give you all a good mix. 28. This is $5, and there is only one. Anne says, I liked a series called Wild Bill with Rob Lowe on BritBox, but it was only one season, so it kind of leaves you hanging as long as you know that going in. Somebody just sent an email, EFG2, but marked it vintage bugles. Please make sure you send another email that says 27 if you just tried to claim that. So I don't think you meant 2, because I won't read your email then. 2 sold anyway. I was going to look just to make sure, but you'll miss out on that. So please resend. This is a vintage German glass strand. Vintage German blue glass. These little kind of blue eggs. They remind me of the robin's eggs we have on our porch right now. $5 was the old price. $5 is still your price. Last strand of these left. I don't think it's going to last long. This is about a 6mm by 8mm bead strand. And that's about an 8-inch strand. Just one of them, EFG 28. Okay. All right, they resent that email. Thank you so much. EFG 29 are these horn beads. And there are 4 of them available. They are $14 each instead of 18. We've just sold 28. I had a feeling that wasn't going to last long. Let me put that away. And I'm not sure the stones in these, they're really kind of green, like a malachite, but could be turquoise. Most likely, I would guess turquoise, but sometimes they use things like malachite. This one's a little bit lighter, more like a turquoise. Yeah, some of them are a little bit more green. One of them is a little bit lighter than the others, as far as like it's more of a green blue. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the difference on there or not. But they are a Nepalese, I think they're a Nepalese bead, and they're metal with the stone inset. And they are about 20mm by 33. And there are 4 of them available. And they're $14 each. All right. And let's see, what I got left? One more to go tonight. EFG 30. I would keep going, but I'm getting a headache. Sorry, y'all. Just finished The Bay on BritBox 5 seasons, says Larry. Marion says, I have a hard time convincing myself I need BritBox since I have BBC First in my cable package. We don't have cable. We don't have any cable package. How about these? I think these are fun. We're gonna get an assortment. We did these before, $5 for 10 beads. I'm gonna do the same thing. EFG 30, $5 for 10 beads. These are already wire wrapped beads. They're glass beads. They're all wire wrapped like this, just in fun ways. I believe with silver. I believe it's silver wire because some of it looks like it's tarnishing. and we'll pick out 10 of them for you for $5. You get kind of a random grab of these. 10 of them for $5. It's kind of fun stuff. Glass beads. And that's it, my friends. That's what we've got for you till tonight. Don't forget a few things. We still have a D-Stash going on. So the D-Stash group met yesterday, but everything is available to claim until Saturday night. So you can continue to claim in the D-Stash group until Saturday. We also had the Kochai or Kochi medal last week on Thursday and Friday. If you missed any of that, you missed some really good stuff at great prices. So check a replay of those videos out before it's too late. And we will not have a live on Friday, at least Friday evening, because we're going to be hanging out with our friend coming in from Seattle. So we might do a live earlier in the day, but that's kind of up in the air right now. So we'll see you here though, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for sure. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, except on Wednesday, 3. Wednesday is 3 p.m. Eastern time because I've got my pottery class that night. Thank you again. If you have any questions, send us an email because we will not be looking at comments generally after this. I do check them every once in a while on YouTube and stuff, but we don't always see everything. So if you have a question about anything, if you're watching the replay, if you're not watching us live, please send us an email about it. And a screenshot also helps. All right. Thank you again. Have an amazing evening, everyone. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night with some new goodies for you.